Is it?
Nah,
Is
it's
this
just-
real? Is
it's
this just made up for the fight?
It's just it's real. This
Bruh,
is two dogs.
he's from the
It's two dogs.
suburbs.
It's two
He
dogs.
from the suburbs. Him don't got
Suburbs.
nothing
You
in
don't know me.
common.
You don't know me. What
But
you talking
but
about?
but
You
the little
sound
female
crazy.
he got.
That's the problem.
But that little female he got, well, she probably around here somewhere. I'll catch up with her.
Wait, hey.
Let's talk about this press conference with Gervonta Davis and Frank Martin. They're fighting in June. I can't wait to see this fight. Tank is my favorite current boxer. I'm a definitely high supporter of him, but some of the things he says sometimes I don't agree with, so I got to keep that same energy and be real all across the board. When he was in his press conference talking to Frank Martin, he was basically telling him, like, you're from the suburbs, you're not like me. You don't have the work ethic that I do. You don't have the hunger that I do. You don't have the perseverance that I have. And I think this is a really flawed type of mentality. Like, I don't understand why everybody want to continue to make being from the suburbs a negative. Being from the suburbs is not negative. And we should stop trying to tell people this. You don't understand the trickle effect of the things that you're saying. Like, it's just like I even heard people when I was growing up, they would say that I'm not real because I grew up with both my parents. Like, what kind of sense do this stuff make? They feel like I didn't go through a struggle because I had both my parents. Struggle does not discriminate. It don't matter if you got two parents in your home. It don't matter if you got one. It don't matter if you're in an orphanage. Struggle do not discriminate. It don't matter if you black. It don't matter if you Asian. It don't matter if you African. It don't matter if you're Hispanic. Struggle does not discriminate. Indians, everyone. Have you not looked around this world and seen poverty-stricken people of every single color? So we can't sit here and say these things because of, who was in your household, because of your race, because of anything that you didn't struggle. That's just a flawed type of mentality. Coming from the suburbs is not a bad thing. That's not a negative. We got to stop trying to make it seem like a negative. That is a very good thing. Any person that comes from the complete hood and when they grow up and become something, or if they grow up and become something, they absolutely do not want their kid to grow up in the hood. And also, you got to be careful as a parent not to demean your own children, telling them that they grew up in the suburbs. They don't know what life is or anything is about. We got to be careful with that type of mentality and message we're giving them as well. Because understand what you're doing. If it's your kids, if you're a grown person, keep saying these things, but people are watching. So these kids are shaming other kids in school saying they're not real because they grew up with both parents or grew up in the suburbs. So now you're going to make these kids that actually grew up in the suburbs that don't have to take these steps trying to prove themselves that they are not soft, to try to sell some drugs, to go out here and beat people up, to go out there and stab, shoot someone, to try to prove something to someone else who don't have as many options as they do. They're going to limit their own options in life to try to prove to someone else that just does not have the option. And a lot of times that can be just what those people want to do. They want to bring you down and want you not to have as many options as well. So they'll try to shame you for having options. But don't be ashamed because you got options. That's a blessing. Embrace the blessings. And people who don't have those type of options, take the opportunity to listen and watch what others are doing so you can prepare yourself when you get yourself in a new position later on in life. It's like we got to stop trying to shame people for this stuff. Like, I done heard so many times saying like, oh, you ain't real because you don't come from the hood. Nothing is determined to be real just because of where you come from. Being real is an internal thing. Being true to yourself. Being true to yourself, having some morals, having character, looking out for others, that's what's real. Real ain't being a killer. Real ain't being a thief. Real ain't being someone who's repping a flag, repping red, black, blue, anything. That's not what determines real. I understand anybody that's in a certain circumstance, they doing what they got to do to try to survive. But what's real is uplifting a community. What's real is passing on some game. What's real is not trying to pull someone down. What's real is not being a crab in a bucket. Like, we got to do better than this. Like, for real, for real. Like, we got to redefine what real is because y'all are getting the game fucked up saying the stuff we saying. It's like you're only making the cycle continue instead of stopping the cycle and allowing everyone to evolve. Your own children. Haven't you seen it enough? This OG West Coast rapper was talking about Drake. Drake made a comment about the helicopters going over his house. He said, he can't get no sleep. Can y'all stop, flying over my home and stop around this particular time? And this man said, see, this is 102. Why you not real? You know how many of us had to grow up and have helicopters flying over our home and all this mess like that? This is why you not hip hop. What is wrong with y'all? So you think Everybody that is part of hip hop had helicopters flying over their home due to murders, suicide, due to gang affiliation. You're not hip hop unless you've been part of killing. You're not hip hop unless you've been in a gang. You're not hip hop unless you've been beat up, jumped, stabbed, kicked in the face, obliterated by society. You're not hip hop unless you went through all these things. That doesn't make sense. And that is not wise to bring hip hop down to something like that. You're only putting limitations to us. How do you not understand this? That is not the goal, to be living in these type of situations. The goal is to get out. You don't have to be a killer to be part of hip hop. Drake is just as much as hip hop as anyone. He has given so much to the hip hop culture, just like so many of the other greats. Like, how do we look over these things because you feel like someone didn't grow up like you? That's a small-minded mindset. We don't want to limit our aspirations, our expectations, yo. Hip-hop is multifaceted. Hip-hop is diverse. Hip-hop is the future. And the future can't be a singular type of mindset. We cannot be living in a monolith. Like, what makes everything so amazing about our culture is when we look around and see so many different people, different angles, learning things from different perspectives. Your perspective is not the only perspective. Growing up in the hood is not the only perspective. And growing up in the hood is not the only struggle. People from the suburbs can have tremendous struggles as well. It's just different from yours. Different don't mean it's absent. You always saying someone else don't understand what you went through, but you also diminish and don't understand what they are going through. I didn't grow up with much, but I'm so happy that I grew up in a family that was full of love, that we didn't even know that we were poor. We didn't even realize those type of things. Because I didn't know that we lacked financially, not really until I got out here in the real world myself. And I thank my mom, I thank my pops for that. I can understand all the hours that they had to work now to make sure we was good. And also make sure that we didn't glorify certain things. We didn't glorify the name brands. Maybe because we just couldn't afford it. But also I'm so glad because I don't care about the name brands now. Like if I was stuck and just always thinking about I can't go out the house unless I got on some Fendi or Prada or some bull job like that, some Gucci, which is so stupid. You put so much pride to putting someone else's name on your back than your own. Like, I'd rather create a creation like I've done this myself. I created this. I'm proud to wear something that I created. I think my name is more important than a Fendi. I think my name is more important than a Gucci. I think my name is more important than a Prada. Their names are not more important than mine. So why am I stressing so much for having their clothing on my back? Why would I be stressing so much to put their name on my back? I got my own name that I have pride in. If I see something cool and I like it, I'll copy it. It don't matter what the brand is. The brand don't make me. The man make the brand. When I'm walking around, can't nobody tell me nothing. I make what I'm wearing cool. What I'm wearing don't makes me cool. That's why I don't focus on brands. I focus on me as a man. My character. What I put out there. My consistency. What I do for people. And don't have to say a word about it. How I hold my people down. How no one can ever say I snaked them or done something dirty or stole something from them. How no one can ever say that I hated on them or try to bring them down. Everyone that been around me, I never held back on passing game. I salute greatness. I'm inspired by greatness. I never hate on greatness. We got to stop that. And I feel like deep down when people saying that you are not part of something, like you're not hip hop because you didn't grow up with helicopters flying over your home, that's actually hate because you inside wish you didn't have to deal with those things growing up yourself. But don't try to say someone's not something because they didn't grow up like you did. Everybody got their own struggles, yo. And always remember, together we can reach the highest point. Stop all this separation bullshit. It don't make sense. It's 2024. I mean, come on, man. What year we in? We're so past all that. Well, we should be past all of that. You know it. But anyway, you guys let me know your thoughts on this whole matter, man. Like, am I tripping? Like, am I tripping about this? Do y'all not feel what I'm saying? Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can be sure to get all the new videos when they drop. This algorithm is crazy, man. They don't even let you see my videos unless you're hitting that subscribe button and pressing the notification bell. Otherwise, you're just going to be subscribed and then they not really showing you our shit. I don't get it. YouTube be tripping. But, yo, let's keep rocking. I look forward to your comments. I look forward to your feedback. I look forward to everything, man. Like, because like with me, like I like to hear feedback from everyone. It don't matter your race, your creed, how you grew up. I accept all feedback and criticism from everyone, especially if it makes sense. I take that criticism in. If it don't make sense, I throw it to the side. But I never tell someone that they don't have the right to have an opinion, especially if I'm being a creator and putting my information out there, putting my thoughts out there to the public. So how can I tell you that you don't? So how can I tell you that you can't have an opinion on something I say because you don't look like me? But I put this opinion out here to the world. That's what we're doing with this great thing with hip hop. We're putting it out there to the world so everyone can be a part of it. If you love it, if you got something to say about it, even if you hate it, you have the right to have an opinion about it. If you can't take criticism from everyone in this world, the human race, we get so caught up into so many different races and not focus on it's just the human race. Nobody's soul has a color. These are just an exterior covering. Nobody chose what color they were. No one chose what religion that they grew up in. No one chose that. So why are we making these determining factors on how we treat someone? It don't make sense. They didn't have a choice in the matter. But anyway, like to hear y'all thoughts, man. Speak to y'all next time. Till next time, you hold it down. Don't let it hold you. Peace.
The Highest Point Podcast.
More than a pod, it's a lifestyle.
The most epic and disrespectful battle of all time. Drake versus Kendrick Lamar. Did Kendrick Lamar just dethrone Drake and end his epic run? Or will Drake continue to be unfazed like every other rapper that tried to destroy him and remain at the top? Who you rocking with, Kendrick Lamar or Drake? Represent for yours right now. Go to thehighestpointtv.com.